I'm rocking and rolling and ready to go after a 4-hour nap. So, yesterday's feed talked about, got my beard oil in. I love putting beard oil in my beard because it makes it smell better. It smells like a Old Spice for your hair, for your beard. I am tired. All right, so we are 22 hours out, and here we go. I am in Iowa right now, and yesterday I stopped in Chicago, and or I drove through Chicago, and I have to tell you, I'm going to do everything in my power to avoid that state for the rest of my life. The traffic and the way the way people were out there was absolutely atrocious in regards to driving and not thinking about the fact that jaywalking can cause like horrible accidents. So I'm driving in the city because I wanted to start at the scenic Route 66 to continue the adventure and the journey. And as I'm going, there's people that are just ripping up next to me and like cutting me off throughout the city. And I was like, God, that is the most irresponsible driving I've ever seen in my entire life. Here's this 4,000 to 7,000 pound machine that people are in charge of. And they have no regard for who's next to them or who's in front of them or behind them. They drive like wild animals, run around in nature and have no regard for anything else. And it was so incredibly stressful and dangerous. And the worst experience I had, hello everybody, the worst experience I had was after that, it was a 3-hour traffic jam on the highway. It was insane. And it wasn't normal traffic jam weather. It was weather. Driving. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm just waking up. I'm getting to the gas station now to get some coffee. But it was crazy. So, is that a gas station? I hope so, because I've got to get coffee. I'm doing instant coffee. I can't even remember what it's called right now. I'll tell you what, though, it's super tasty. And I am not an instant coffee guy, but it's a lot cheaper than stopping at every gas station and buying a $2.50 cup of Java. What the heck was that? I don't even know what that noise was. Something in the vehicle. It sounded like a bottle popping. My buddy Mark is hitting me up. He's like, "Be here tomorrow for dinner," and that was at like 6 p.m. And that's just, even if I were to drive from now until that is not happening. Not driving the speed limit anyhow, and I don't speed. I think mathematically the only way you can get anywhere faster if you speed is by doubling the speed limit, and I'm not doing that. So I go 60 the whole time because it saves a lot on gas, and better for, it's more economically friendly for the vehicle. I can react a little bit, gives me a little more reaction time in case of crazy little critters on the road or deer. Which reminds me, if you ever travel down 66 and drive to Texas, they have these. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't even think of the creatures' names. They armadillos, and I guess an armadillo, if they run in front of your vehicle and you hit one of those things, they'll blow out a tire and dent your rim like that because of their hard shells. And it'll kill them obviously too. But exit 295, gas. I'm going to be stopping at the BP gas station to get some hot water. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, man, this is not going to be easy. That bank putting that hold on my, I talk about it on the other news feed. It's called Bank Hold, as Jim sees it live, for 295 feet. I don't see the gas station. Yeah, if I can't see the gas station, I am not getting off. I think it's 295A was the gas station. Oh, here we go. We're going to find out, right? Yeah, but I talk about how there was a block on my card because I was traveling state to state, and I didn't know that you got to let your credit card company know, because it's the first time I've traveled. Like, actually, no. When I was running the YouTube channel, and I had just seen what is the scariest story you've ever had while driving. I'm trying to think. Windy. Let me think. Scariest story I ever had while driving. It was definitely when I was. Okay, here's the scariest story I ever had while driving. So I was doing the bus life for the first time ever, and I had paid $2,000 for this little short bus, and it wasn't big, just a tiny little thing. It was white. It was from Bob's Motors. I paid the guy cash, and he told me he had to get the brakes done on the vehicle, and he had to get a couple of other things. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna. I was like, oh my God, I am so tired, dude. I would tell that story. I'll save that story for another time. Oh my God, my brain is so fried right now. I am so tired. All right, Wendy, are you still watching? I'll get my I got my marbles back here. I'll be able to explain that story, the scariest story. All right, Wendy. So I get this bus from this guy, right? I've known him for years at the time, and he hands me the keys. He says, "Here you go, Chris. Time to start your dream." And this was prior to me having my movie script finished that I wrote. I was super excited. It was about 7 years ago. I couldn't wait to get on the road for the van life. But first, I wanted to build it, and I had been training to hike the Grand Canyon like I'm going to be doing the Grand Canyon. I was training for it, all kinds of stuff, right? And I get the keys. I'm super excited, and I turn the engine. Boom! It fires up. I'm like, yes. All right, here we go. The adventure is about to begin. Now, I had done a little work to the outside and did some scraping, tore apart some stuff on the inside of the bus on Bob's property. Prior to taking it out of there, he gave me permission because he said he wanted to get some mechanical stuff done to it before I bought it. He wouldn't feel right, blah, blah, blah. So I start driving down the road. And it's going in a hill into the city I live in. And this hill is like, extends a total of 1 mile, but it definitely gets steeper and steeper and steeper as you go down the hill. And at the end of the hill, there's a 4-way intersection that you have to stop at to make sure there's no oncoming traffic that you would cross over. So I start driving. I'm recording at the time. I'm like, yeah, you know, the bus line, yeah, rah, rah. And as I'm driving here, it sounds like a bunch of hydraulic fluids or hydraulic hoses just start popping. And I was like, and like you hear it in the video and you see me kind of like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to look what that was because I'm driving a bus. And all of a sudden I start to pump the brakes. And I pump the brakes and it pushes all the way to the ground. And I was like, and you could see the panic on my face in the video. And I'm thinking, oh my God, please don't let this happen. And then I say it out loud. I'm like, please, dear God, please let this vehicle stop. And it starts picking up speed. And I see the parking lot as I'm getting to the bottom of this hill. And I keep thinking, like, if I don't stop right now, I'm going to go to that stoplight. And if I don't stop, I could get smashed by oncoming traffic. So I cut the wheel because it's still running. And I turn the vehicle into this parking lot, right? Now, the parking lot was flat. And there's a restaurant that people eat at regularly, old people. And the vehicle's not stopping. And it just keeps going towards the restaurant. And it keeps going towards the restaurant. And it's like, this thing weighs like 9,000 pounds, right? And it's floating. Now, it's not going like 30 miles an hour like it was down the hill. But it was going fast enough to blast through a restaurant in the morning, on a Saturday morning of people eating their breakfast. And I'm like, you could just see it. I'm so panicked, but I'm trying to keep calm. And I'm like, please, God, don't let this hit the restaurant. And I'm going and I'm going and I'm going. And like 5 feet beforehand, there's this huge block that I didn't see. And it just stops the bus. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. And I got out of the car. And I walked to Bob's shop. And I'm like, dude, the brakes just went out in that bus. You better get this thing back and get it fixed or give me my money back. And I'll tell the rest of the story some other time. But yeah, that was the scariest story while driving on the road. I was pretty scared at that one. So, all right, everybody, let's get some coffee, right? Hold on. There's a part of me that just wants a regular cup. I think what we do is a regular cup of coffee. All right, hold on. One thing I gotta not do is leave my with the key in it, because I'm in a state I don't know, and the locals could just say, hey, that's a nice looking van. We're going to just take that van because that guy's an idiot. Oh my God, here's the funniest part. So I just woke up a little, oh, you're welcome for the story. I just woke up a little, thank God nothing crazy happened, huh? I just woke up a little bit ago. I have a boot on that's like 1 inch taller than my shoe because I was just trying to keep warm in my car, and I'm going to walk into the gas station. I'm so tired. All right, here we go.
Oh. All right. Oh, it's locked. Limit 2 guests. Oh, see how I'm like walk, like you can hear my foot like bump bump. Did I miss the exit or how to get in? Oh my God. Hey, if you're watching, go ahead and give the channel a subscribe and a like and a thumbs up. There's going to be tons of good content on there. Well, at least
at the stop sign, turn left onto North Brady
But yeah, there's
Street.
going to be tons of
Then take the
content
first
constantly
left onto West
uploaded
65th Street.
and adventures galore. And I can't wait to get to Florida though. Feeling this cold. What's up, man? Feeling this cold already. I cannot wait to get to Florida. So if we can get the channel to 500 subscribers, one thing that we're going to do is start a Patreon so we can give away shirts. And I say we because I got a guy named Raymond Douglas who helps with the editing. It's the two of us. He doesn't like to do the whole in front of the camera stuff. It's not his style. He loves the behind the scenes stuff. He helps with the writing and the editing and all that good stuff. So, hey, what's going on? CC Motion 1998. What's going on, man? How are you today? All right, let's see. Oh my God, chocolate milk. Oh, that looks like such good chocolate milk. I've never even heard of this brand, so I'm trying it. It is Nature's Touch chocolate milk. I don't know if anybody else has ever had it, but I cannot wait to have it. We're in the gas station. Let's give a little shout out. Woo! All right, let's get some coffee. Get nice and fired up on some delicious Java. Hey, Wendy, you know what? You got any crazy stories of being on the road? If you do, post in the what section is the community section, and put your story up there. I'll read it and check it out. Yeah, it'll be cool to hear your story too. Like if you had anything crazy go on, or anybody else that's watching. Let's see, what should I do? 24 ounce? Yes. Bold. 20 ounce. And then I'll put the chocolate milk inside the coffee. So the Brave Bros, MJ better than LeBron James? Oh, you know what's funny is I'm from Ohio. I'm not a big basketball guy, but I mean, I grew up in the 90s and like everybody had Michael Jordans and wanted to be Michael Jordan and had Chicago Bulls stuff. If I'm keeping it real, like, let's say I look at a fighter, right? An example would be like Floyd Mayweather. How many championships has that guy won in how many different divisions of weight classes? And same with who's the boxer? Canelo Alvarez. So if I keep it real, I have to say that whoever has the most championships is probably the better athlete. So I'm going to have to go with Michael Jordan because I'm comparing that now to other championships. Like he has like what? I don't know how, I think 8 rings. And Canelo Alvarez has like 4 belts. And then, you know, Floyd Mayweather has a bunch of belts too. Like, and in the UFC, if you look at that championship, like people that have 2 division belts, 2 different divisions are like deemed as like the better athlete or the greater fighter. So, I mean, if I'm being honest, LeBron doesn't have nearly as many as Michael J. And I think Michael Jordan was like, I think he was like better in the sense that, good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
Good. I think Michael Jordan was better oh yeah, I got the rings wrong. I apologize. Yeah, 6 rings. So I think Michael Jordan was better in the sense that he was more charismatic and he was more extreme with like the stuff that he did sports wise. Like he had that sweet like signature jump in the air and blah, blah, blah. So LBJ just is like, all right, thank you. He's just your average guy, right? Just your average superstar basketball player. So that's LeBron only 4 rings. Yeah, that's 2 years. But I will say this. People can say this is biased, but Scottie Pippen was a big reason why Michael Jordan was as great as he was, for sure. And other players on that team, like LeBron has, I don't want to say he's carried the team, but he hasn't had as much assistance. And I will say, like, when you're on the same team for years and years and years and years, everybody learns about, like, their strengths and weaknesses. So if you've got the same coach all the time, you guys kind of get in sync with how your athletes are, how they're performing, plus the age of all the way those teams came together at that time. So, I mean, if I take that in as a factor, LeBron's gone to different teams and still won championship rings where, I mean, who knows? Like, maybe Jordan wouldn't have been able to do that had he been in the same position. So, I mean, if I'm analyzing it through those lenses, I mean, it might be that LBJ. I was going to say, this is going to be another scary story. I can't find my truck, but it was on the other side of the building because I'm so tired. But analyzing it through that lens, you know, if LBJ were to get 2 more rings and tie Jordan, I think that would make him better because he didn't do it with the same team, the same players all the time. And again, there's strength in numbers. And if he's constantly having to change up where he goes and how he does things, because, like, that's a big thing with athletes is, like, you know, the coaches know the strengths and where the team looks the best and works the best as a whole. So I would say it changes it. But, yeah, that's my opinion about LBJ and Michael Jordan. How have I been lately? I'm a little stressed about a little bit stressed about the trip because if you go watch last night's upload, the live, money got blocked. Feed 4. That put me behind by 12 hours. So now I got to drive for a crazy amount of time and distance to be able to make up being able to be at the Grand Canyon by like 2 in the morning tomorrow, and then wake up at like 10 and hike down Bright Angel Trail. And I wanted to at least be there for a day to have my body acclimate a little bit. I knew I was going to be, oh my God, that's some good chocolate milk. Wow. Borden chocolate milk I thought was good, but son of a gun, nature's touch is as smooth as silk. Woo! Wow, that's some good chocolate milk. Oh, man, that's so good. All right. Here we roll. Here we roll. CC Motion. Are you from the Medina area? In Medina, Ohio? We always see each other when I go to Walmart. I'm curious about that. I have a follower who is in Medina, Ohio. Oh, taking the light off. I don't care. I gotta get some battery. I have a follower in Medina, Ohio. Bad shaming is not okay. They already have enough on their plate. Oh, I'm not gonna make fun of people for being heavy. California, Brody. Awesome. Oh my gosh, Brody. You know what movie I think of when that gets said is Point Break. I think that was one of the guys' names, right? It was Brody. Oh my gosh, now all of a sudden this thing's not staying. Figures. Wasn't that one of the characters' names was Brody? I can't remember.
I think so. What's the weather like in California right now? Out of curiosity, CC Motion. All right, we are on the road again. On the road again. Here I go. Turn the page. We are going through Iowa right now. Hey, you know what? What's everybody's favorite movie? Post in the comments. Like, but let's do like a thing where not an exit. Okay, can't go that way. Let's do a thing where like your favorite action movie from 1990 to 2015. Post in the comments below. Patrick Swayze. That, you know what? That guy was one hell of an actor. I try not to swear on the channel, but that guy could act. He was good, man. Roadhouse, Point Break. He was in Ghost. Oh my God, Ghost was a classic. Him and Demi Moore. Man, he was a good actor. And what's crazy is Revolver. You know, oh, that's your favorite action movie, Sam? I don't know if I've seen that. Is it a what kind of action movie was it? Is it like Western action or just plain old? You know, where the hell? I totally don't like this road. Oh, here we go. There it is. There we go. Now we're back to normal. All right. It's getting hot in here. I tell you what, insulating this Transit van, when that heater gets going, son of a gun. Yeah, action. It's a psychological thriller. I don't know if I've seen it. All right, somebody else pick a movie, like a genre and a time frame, and then the rest of us will point out what is like what our favorite movie from that time is. So let's say like Sam, you pick out like the genre and the time frame, like 20-year time frame, and then everybody posts the movie that they like from that genre and that time frame the most. Yeah, I would say, yeah, well, because movies are so good, they're so magical, man. Like athletes, the one thing I will say about sports, it's not that I don't love sports. Like I only have a couple sports that I follow, which is mixed martial arts and boxing, are the two primary sports that I follow. But movies, like, they're so with athletes, it's like they're great. You just have a great athlete for that sport and that generation. There's one or two. Nobody can ever do what they did, and then it takes 50 years, and then somebody else breaks it. But like movies, like they never ever stop being great, ever. And it's just I love stories. That's why when I chose to do write screenplays. I love it. There's nothing that feels better to me than writing a story. Oh my gosh, it's hot. At the next light, turn right. I gotta keep adjusting this thing, man. Uh-oh. That's in front of that. All right, there we go. I gotta try not to look at this thing. I know it's a little bit on the darker side in here because of the lighting, but that's just the way it's gonna be. Excuse me. I totally took a wrong turn out of there. Aviator with Leonardo Smith, or Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what? That is another brilliant actor. You remember, what was it? Family Ties in the 80s he was in. He was the adopted kid. The family took him in. And then he was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape with Johnny Depp. And then he was in Basketball Diaries. And then I want to say the big one for him where he really like skyrocketed into acting. Like you saw the greatness that he was in the transition from What's Eating Gilbert Grape to Basketball Diaries. And then it was Titanic, and that was like the one that just, what is it, pole vaulted him into superstardom. And that was like, and then he had just outstanding performances in each and every movie he was in after that. Wolf of Wall Street for him is like one of the best ones. Behind Enemy Lines. Oh, what was that? Who was with Owen? You know what? I don't think I saw Behind Enemy Lines. I don't know if I saw that. I'll have to watch it. If it's on Netflix, I'll check it out. You know, I thought about doing a movie review on YouTube, like a Siskel and Ebert type thing, from like on the channel. I felt like that could be like maybe some original content because but dude, these live feeds talking about movies, I could do that all day long and all night. Not care about anything in the world. Just talking about great movies. Let's see. It's an older movie. No, wait a second. Is that with Denzel Washington? I was like, what the heck is that? Merge onto I-80 west towards Des Moines. All right. One thing I don't like saying where I'm going, that, I don't want, like, I'm super tired. I don't even know what I'm saying. So I'm going I-80 west towards Des Moines, Iowa. Iowa has a very distinct look, and it has like a farm smell. All right, Sam, you pick out the genre and the movie. Oh no, I'm sorry. So you pick out the genre and the year, and we'll pick out like what our favorite movies from those time frames were. So I'll wait on you. I'll talk shit until you go though, but I can't like stare at the camera because what I don't want to do is drive off the road. That would suck. That would put an abrupt end to this next great adventure. So I saw if somebody just joined the channel, we got two other people because it was just Sam and I for a while. What we're doing is we're picking out, Sam's picking out the, oh wait, you said no? Okay. So, all right, I'll pick out the time frames and the movie. All right, genre, horror from 1970 to 1990. What was the movie that scared you the most? I'll tell you flat out what mine was. Friday the 13th, part 1, when I was 9 years old. That movie scared the shit out of me. I mean, I couldn't sleep for days. And it was like a horror marathon that week for Halloween. So that was the one for me. So whoever wants to go next, you go next. Or we have 0 people watching. that might be it. And all right, so I'd like to thank everybody for checking out the live feed. Again, every day we'll have a live feed up, and you take it easy.